Peter!
Hey!
I said in my previous video that there was only budget to buy the ZV-1, but there was actually extra budget for the A7S3.
Teppo is stepping up his game.
Now the problem is, I have no clue how to use this camera because...
Don't you worry. You've come to the right place.
That wasn't a good start. I left my key in the hotel room. Whoops. Since I'm post-COVID recovering, lots of healthy juices to keep the immune system going strong. This is such a Scandinavian plate right here. Meatballs, sausages, bacon, and then all the toppings for a sandwich. Meats, cucumber, red pepper, cheese. Voila, with lots of colorful drinks. I gotta say, I am pleasantly surprised by this hotel. I did not expect a hotel this nice to be like 50 meters from Peter's studio, which we're gonna go check out a little bit later today. Look at the views. Now it's getting more brighter out. I'm gonna go swim in there today. It looks very cold. But like the Finns would do. If we have a sauna, we go jump in the... That's not the lake, that's the sea, I think. Yoink! Take my robe. Look at this. We got hot tub here. We got a pool here. If you want to be brave, like I'm gonna be, you can go swimming in the sea. The sea is cold. Let's just say that. Time to go back in the sauna. Oh, that felt cold. It's windy. It's cold. It's head rush. Great time at the spa. Relaxed, ready to start the day. Walking over to Peter's studio. Thoroughly excited to see what it's like. Peter! Oh. This is like the most scary looking area. It's like this dungeon. Take me to the studio.
I'm just gonna take things in Teppo's bag and then I'm gonna leave.
Come on. Take me to the studio.
Yeah.
Show me.
Was the room good?
It was beautiful.
Awesome.
And the spa was nice.
It was?
Yeah.
Perfect.
I was in the sauna, I jumped in the lake. I didn't realize it's a lake though. I thought that was the sea.
Ah.
I was testing the saltiness of the water by licking my arm. And it wasn't salty, so reunited with this guy.
Can you believe that it's been like 1.5 years?
Peter, give me the grand tour.
You're one of the select few
This is where the magic happens.
to enter the studio.
Peter Lindgren channel right here.
Ta-da!
Oh, wow, jeez. This is where you're making the videos?
Yeah, I only use a green screen for everything.
Imagine that was like the hoax. It's like, you've been using a green screen all this time. That'd be impressive. This is like old historical barn.
This is going to be the new studio space.
Yep.
For those who haven't seen it yet. So we're going to build this.
Peter's the man. He does all the building himself.
Another reason for Teppo to get over here later this year. Yeah, here we go.
Oh, this is big. No wonder you like spending time here. This is a big space. Check this out, guys. Oh, man. Screen here. Nerf guns everywhere. We're going to have a competition today, I've heard. This is a chill out corner. Can I go into the main lair? And this is where all happens. Oh, it's so cool seeing this in real life. You've been watching through YouTube videos, and then you come here, and this is the real thing now. I think Peter's office is maybe a little bit better than mine.
We're going to fix your
It's on a journey. My office is on a journey. It's in a process still.
I usually say, like, when it comes to building a studio space, it takes time. It grows
a lot of time, and you gotta have patience with it. So, I have patience with this. Peter!
Hey!
I said in my previous video that there was only budget to buy the ZV-1, but there was actually extra budget for the A7S3.
Teppo is stepping up his game. Definitely joining the good side.
I'm learning from Peter that it's important to invest back into your business, so I'm investing. Now the problem is, I have no clue how to use this camera because when I filmed with this camera with my brother, Matty, he did all the settings. So I need you to set this camera up to be the ultimate photo vlogging B-roll king.
Don't you worry. You've come to the right place.
I think Peter is the man to show me these things because he's Sony genius. He's the man.
Let's get into it.
Future Teppo here. Before we dive into the ultimate settings of the Sony A7S III, I want to give a quick shout out to this episode's sponsor, and that's Motion Array. I want to thank Motion Array for sponsoring my channel, because without sponsors like you guys, I wouldn't be able to do these amazing trips connecting with other content creators around the world, so I just want to say thank you. If you haven't checked out Motion Array before, they are your one-stop shop for any kind of asset that you would need to make high-quality content for your projects. You've got motion graphic templates, you've got stock footage, stock photos, sound effects, presets, pretty much any kind of asset you could think of to help spice up your project. It's on Motion Array. There are over 80,000 different assets that you can download at an unlimited pace with the monthly membership. Motion Array has a really affordable monthly subscription at $29.99 if you do monthly, but if you get the yearly subscription, then it's only around 20 bucks a month, which is super affordable for all the amazing assets that you can download unlimited for your projects. All the effects like the 8mm projector, the light leaks, the sound effects were assets that I downloaded from Motion Array to make the intro in this video. So if you want to make high quality content, check out the amazing assets from Motion Array by clicking the link in my description. I'm confident that you won't be disappointed. All right, back to setting up the A7S III with the ultimate settings with Peter Lindgren.
So one of the most important things is, in my opinion, that you set up the different custom modes that you can use on the camera, such as 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
So depending on how you want to use the camera, you can set it up differently. The way that I've set it up is that I have on number 1 is the vlog mode.
Yep.
That's like 25 FPS.
That's YouTube Live?
Yeah, YouTube Live. No like S-Log 3 or anything like that. Shooting in S-Cinetone, we're going to go through that. And then on number 2, 50 FPS, slow time down. Just a little bit. Just
a little bit.
And then
you don't always need the 120.
Exactly. And then instead of having like 100 FPS on number 3, I usually do that on S&Q. So on number 3, for you, we're going to set up
photo mode.
Because Teppo is a great photographer.
I like being able to switch quickly between photo and video, so that'll be good.
Okay, so let's start out. That we got to do.
Did we clean this screen? Oh!
Putza!
And a Mo shirt for the cleaning. I'm sorry, my brother.
Shameless plug. So to set things up, the first thing that we're going to do is to make sure that we have the right frame rate. And we are going to jump in to video mode. That's a very important one when we're setting things up for video. And we go into the menu, and then we head down to the image quality, and then choose the file format. Here you can choose between the most compressed ones. If you want to shoot like XAVSC 4K, then that is compressed. If you're shooting in 10-bit, then I do not recommend you to have an older computer.
But I got the M1, so...
If you have an M1 Mac, then you're good.
Okay.
But if you're shooting, or if you're running an like Intel computer, then it's going to be very hard for your computer to process the files. But we're going to choose XAVSC S4K. And then in the movie settings, we're going to choose 25 on recording frame rate. And then we're going to set recording settings to 140.
The highest of the highs.
422 10-bit.
Ooh.
There we go.
Now explain to the people why. What does that even mean? What do those numbers mean? All these numbers, but what does it mean, Peter, in layman terms?
In layman terms, the simplest way to explain it is like 8-bit is a lower color space. You don't get as many colors as you do in 10-bit. So 10-bit is basically the thing that you want to use if you're grading heavily. But if you're not grading that much, then 8-bit is going to be just fine.
And the 140M, explain to the people.
Yeah.
Someone starting out with a Sony camera, what does that mean?
You have like 60M, 100M, and 140. The difference is the amount of data that the camera can capture per frame, basically.
So good sizes, high quality, but the downside is going to be huge sizes of files.
Basically. That's how you got to think about it.
Are you saying I need to get a storage system now? Probably. I need a storage system, guys.
We got to fix a studio.
I'm still using like little external hard drives, and Peter was just like, that's not going to work.
Come on, man.
I have a ways to go in this YouTube journey. Let's just say that.
So once you've chosen that, we can actually jump back and set the different like frame or shutter that we want to have. And then the ISO, we can adjust that. But it's also very important that you know which picture profile that you want to use when you're vlogging. Because, for example, if you're vlogging, you might not want to shoot in S-Log. Because S-Log might be hard to expose.
Plus a harder workflow.
Yeah.
If you want to be fast vlogging, you don't need to be doing crazy color grading for it.
Exactly. You want the image to look good in camera because that is the way that's going to come out when you import it to your computer.
Yeah.
So to set this up, we can go into the exposure and color, and then we can go down to the color and tone. And here you have something that's called picture profile. You can go into this, and then you can choose any kind of picture profile and adjust it just the way that you want it to. You don't have to think about like PP1, PP2, PP3.
Yeah.
You can adjust this the way that you want. And we have set up PP1 to be S-Cinetone on the gamma, and then black level +3, and then we have color mode S-Cinetone with a saturation at +5, and that is giving us a look that looks very natural to the eye and basically looks good straight out of camera.
I like this. This is less work for me.
Yeah, and that is also what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
You know, less work, efficiency. And on number 2, I have set up S-Log3. So gamma S-Log3, color mode is gamma 3 Cine. Nothing else, because this is as raw, flat profile as we can possibly get out of the S3. And then when we're done with the first setup of our camera, we go to the menu again, and then we go up to the shooting mode.
I love how I'm just like glued to the screen, just like, Peter, what are you doing, Sensei? I'm following you.
And then we go down to camera set memory, and then we choose which slot that we want to save it at.
Yeah.
And in this case, we're just going to set it to number 1.
Yeah.
And then we're just going to hit save, bam. And now you're ready to go out vlogging.
Ready to vlog.
So, what if you want to set a different one? Then you just stay in the video mode.
Yeah.
And then you go into the menu. And then we go to shooting mode. And then we choose the image quality, movie settings, and then choose the recording frame rate.
To the 50.
50.
Yep.
Then we make sure we go back to the shooting display, increase the shutter to double the frame rate.
Yep.
And then menu, head back, shooting mode, camera set memory, and we're gonna set that at number 2. Bam!
Ready.
And you're done. That is it. So the way that this works is that if we go in to number 1, it is always gonna be set the way that we set it up.
Yeah.
If you want to change anything, I highly recommend you to go back to video, set all the settings the way that you want them to, save it on 1 again.
Yeah.
So that it always goes back. When you want to shoot your slow motion, that is where we jump into the S&Q. So S&Q is basically standing...
What does it stand for?
Slow and quick.
Okay.
It's very simple.
Slow and quick.
And the cool thing is that I shoot all my time lapses with S&Q.
Yeah. That was an interesting thing that Peter was showing me earlier, that he's using it for slow-mo and for time lapses.
Yes. So it's the best like combination of having slow stuff and quick stuff and get that nice compressed video in camera.
Yeah.
So the way that this works is that if we go into the menu and then shooting menu and then S&Q settings, here you have the recording frame rate and the frame rate. This is a little bit confusing because it's very easy to like mistake it for being like, oh, I set the recording frame rate to 25. Why is it not recording?
That's the playback
Exactly.
rate. Yeah.
So if we set the recording frame rate to 25, that is the camera will play it back at 25 FPS.
Yeah.
But if we set the frame rate to 100, the camera will capture 100 frames per second and play that back at 25.
So slow motion.
Yes. If we were to set the frame rate to 1 frame per second, then the camera will capture 1 frame per second and play that back at 25 FPS, which means that 2 seconds of footage is going to equalize 50 frames.
Yeah.
And there you go. That is S&Q.
For time lapse and for slow motion.
Time lapse, slow motion, vlog setup, everything done. How do you feel?
It was this easy? Dang, I don't know why I was so scared about switching over to Sony cameras, but this was the reason why I had to fly all the way from Finland to Sweden just for this man to set my camera up.
I'm going to give you some slight hacks as well.
Okay, give us some extra little bonuses.
Okay, here's the bonus. So you have custom buttons on the back of the camera that you can adjust. You have the C4, C1, C3, the ISO, stuff like that.
Yeah.
If we want to adjust them, we go in to the menu again. Bam. Let's see. There we go. And we're going to head down to the toolbox. And then we're going to go into Operation Customize.
Yeah.
Now we're jumping into the deep
This
dive.
is like stage 2, master with sensei. I mean, sensei with apprentice.
And then you have custom key settings for photos, videos, and playback. And since I'm mainly using video, we're just going to jump into video. And here you can see the back of the camera.
Yeah.
And what we've set up is that the control wheel is the ISO.
Yeah.
So when you spin it, it's just going to adjust the ISO.
And I like that because the front finger is doing the shutter and then the thumb
Exactly.
is doing the ISO and
So
aperture you're never changing.
Then
so.
you just have access on these fingers. It's perfect.
Yeah.
And then moving down, I've set the number 2, which is, let's see, where is it?
Just right here.
There we go, AEL. The AEL button I've set up to zoom, and not any kind of zoom. This is the clear image zoom.
No.
So when you want to crop in a little bit further, you can do that digitally in the camera. And then on number 3, which is the AF on, I've set it up to be a gamma display assist.
I like this. This is good.
Which is when you're shooting an S-Log, you can just hit this button and then you're gonna get some sort of like LUT applied to your footage.
Yeah.
And then it's gonna look better in camera, so it's gonna be easier for you to expose and get a good shot.
Yeah, I think that's really good for people who are getting used to log because a lot of times they're like, how does this actually look like when it's gonna look graded? So then it's really a little preview. It's like, oh, this is now lit well.
It is
So.
very, very helpful when you're shooting a lot of like cinematic stuff and want to have a little bit better look.
Yeah.
And then as number 4, which is C1, I set it to white balance so that you can easily adjust the white balance on the go if you want to go from auto to fixed, depending on what kind of scenario you're in.
Yeah.
And then on C3, I've set it to manual focus selector. So when you hit this button, you can switch between autofocus and manual focus without doing any kind of fiddling around with the lens.
This is how he does his B-roll.
Yes. So when you have it like switched off in the camera and not on the lens, you can actually use the touch screen to choose the focus point and use the manual focus at the same time.
That's good. That's good.
And then on C4, I have the picture profile, jump between the different picture profiles. You can set these buttons up the way that you want to, like the more comfortable you get with the camera. But this is the way that I use it and that I have been using for the last 1.5 years.
And the way that I will be using this camera because I trust this guy.
You want to give it a try?
I think it's time for me to practice my B-roll skills with this camera.
Gothenburg. Here we go.
Does this angle make you look bigger? Like, I'm so small, little beside you, and then you're massive. God, look at this. I don't even have muscles compared to you. I think I need to go pump with Peter today. Does it come in one day?
2.
Okay, 2 days.
Unfortunately.
Oh man, I gotta come back then. We only have one day. He said that on purpose.
All right, let's head out to Gothenburg.
Let's check out our B-roll. Oh, let's see. I think you're filming me. Oh, ooh. Sun is shining.
Now we're talking.
I want to see the side one where you go, oh, look at this.
Look at that.
Woo. The best is when the B-roll, the sun, like, let's just say the setup for the camera definitely helped and we were able to get some pretty nice B-roll today. We had a good day filming, right?
Oh, yeah.
It was a good day.
It's been great.
Let's just say we've had a lot of fun and I think we're going to have to redo another one of these trips ASAP.
ASAP.
Okay.
Like right now.
We are going to go to the hotel and have a sauna and swim in the lake.
Yeah.
To honor my Finnish roots. I'm trying to initiate this Swede into the sauna culture, but Swedish people really don't like the sauna swimming that much. But You're gonna love it soon. You're gonna get into it.
I hope so.
You're gonna get into it.
I hope so.
All right. Thanks, guys, for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Bye.